Hey, how's everybody doing? Brother Phil here. I'd like to welcome you on to the program. Um, I wanted to come on and talk about the man of sin, the Antichrist, and just chit chat for a few minutes about who he can possibly be. I don't um, want to um, give the actual person because I don't know that, but I do want to say this. If we can understand eschatology, maybe not to the fullest, but close, then we can understand this individual character and when will he come on the scene. Now, I am going to say this. Like when I look at Revelations, I look at the Antichrist as an individual who comes in a period of time that he is designed to come by God. So when the Antichrist comes to the scene in Revelations, he comes as if he's being introduced. So, in other words, if you're introducing your main speaker for the night, you have a few speakers before him, right? Well, I believe that the Antichrist is a individual person who will not come until it's ready for him to come. Even the elite, book writers and politicians, I tell you, they're building this world. They're building this system for the Antichrist. If you build it, he will come. Have you ever heard of that? If you build it, he will come. Well, the Antichrist system has been around since Christ because it can't be before Christ because Christ wasn't here. So Antichrist system came and has been here for thousands of years. Uh, the Antichrist system in the last 50 years has been, of course, building because it's getting to that time that he's revealed. This individual person will come at a moment of time. Now, to set up the stage for the Antichrist arrival, we must read the Bible itself. Now, the Bible gives pointers. Jesus himself gives pointers to when this individual is going to come to the scene. Paul gives pointers, John gives pointers, Daniel definitely gives pointers. And the word Antichrist is a replacement for, and it's also in denial of. So the Antichrist will come to the scene and he will come as a replacement for Christ and as a denier of Christ. So the Antichrist is literally not telling you that Christ did not exist. He's just coming to replace him and to um, deny his lordship over mankind or deny his creation of mankind. So who do I believe the Antichrist is? I'm nobody. So I look at the Bible to tell who I believe the Antichrist is going to be. He is not any of the leaders right now. None of the leaders that you see. If you see the Antichrist, you're still either in you're still either here or you're in heaven looking down. You should not know who the Antichrist is today. You will sooner or later find out. Remember, the Bible says, "Woe to him who asks for the day of the Lord." You're not asking for you don't. Well, sometimes we don't know what we're asking for. Um, so it's exciting to tell who the Antichrist is. It's exciting to watch Bible prophecy. It's exciting to see that Christ is going to return soon. But I want y'all to think about something for a minute. How many lives will be lost at the stake of us? And I'm not trying to make anybody feel bad. I had to go through the same thing. Um, I don't like having the attitude that I won't be here for all the death, so I don't care. I have to care. I have to care. The Antichrist will be the most vicious individual ever in the history of the world. So yeah, I don't tend to want um, to see the wrath of God fall through this individual person. So is he Donald Trump? No, the Antichrist is not Donald Trump. How do you know that? Um, Pretty simple. Where's Donald Trump's heritage? Isn't he from Sweden and Germany and all that stuff? I mean, does anybody do a DNA test on Donald Trump? Now, what's the DNA of the Antichrist besides Satan? So, where is the Antichrist from? Where does the Bible say he's from? Well, in Malachi, I believe, and Isaiah, it calls him the Assyrian. So, Assyria Empire. If you ask Alexa what's the Assyrian Empire, she's going to say, it's in the Middle East. Um, is this board of peace the 10 kings? The answer to the question is no. They're not the 10 kings. Was Brexit the 10 kings? No. Was Europe the 10? No. The 10 kings will rise in a moment of time. The barometer, which a lot of people don't believe in the rapture, but the barometer for all this beginning, the day of the Lord is a 1,000-year period started by the tribulation period. So when it says the day of the Lord shall come as a thief in the night, that's saying that the day of the Lord will come with the rapture of the church. So the minute the rapture of the church comes, the day of the Lord, which is a 1,000-year period, but it begins with the 7-year tribulation period, will begin after the rapture of the church. The Antichrist signs a peace deal, which will begin the 7-year clock. But the 1,000 years already begun. So with the rapture of the church, the 1,000 years have already begun. The day of the Lord is a 1,000-year period. It begins with the rapture of the church. The tribulation period, on the other hand, will overlap into the 1,000 years, will begin with the signing of a 7-year peace deal. Now, the rapture is the number one sign. It's the number one captivator when the Antichrist will come to the scene. The rapture will start the Antichrist rule, or will let you know that it's coming very near, it's coming quickly. So the rapture starts the day of the Lord, which will get people to start to look for this individual person to come. So when the Antichrist comes, and you're here, or we're here, or whoever's here will start to understand this individual person is the Antichrist. But it won't be somebody who has been on the scene for 10 years, 20 years, like Barack Obama or Donald Trump. It won't be any of those guys. It won't be Macron. Antichrist, when he rises, I'm willing to bet that he would not be on the scene no more than a few weeks before everybody starts to kind of see that it's him. So the devil is going to bring on his last leader like a meteor that hit the world. It's going to come. He's going to come out of nowhere. He's going to here he is. I'm presenting this individual as your new leader. Now, I don't even think, how you watch The Thief in the Night or you watch one of the Christian movies and they automatically have this individual just show up. I don't think he shows up as the number one face at that point. I believe it'd be the UN guiding the world through the disappearance of millions of people, maybe even the international governments of the world, leading people, trying to get society straight. And then this individual person, who I believe will be probably the next leader of Syria, um, and believe it or not, he probably be more westernized than most Middle Eastern individuals. Because you don't really have any westernized individuals. When people say Saudi Arabia, you know, um, one of the kings or princes in Saudi Arabia is the Antichrist. Well, you got to look at the territory that the Antichrist is supposed to come from. And the territory that the Antichrist is supposed to come from is the Assyrian Empire, which did not include Saudi Arabia. So it's not him. So I'm thinking that the Antichrist, as a little horn, if you look at the Mediterranean Union was formed in 2008 by Nikolai Sarkozy. And the premise for that organization, they were trying to bring back the Roman Empire, right? They're trying to bring back the Roman Empire, and they were trying to capitalize on the Middle East um, makeup. You know, the Middle East corridors, the different types of trade um, routes, and especially for military purposes, uh, the Middle East is a very very valuable place, and to do like that's what the Antichrist will be so special, is because in that area, for even trade, you know, as far as the economics is concerned, as far as war is concerned, it's a very strategic area. So the Mediterranean Union represents Northern Africa, the Middle East, and Europe. So a lot of people are looking for the Antichrist to come out of just Europe or the United States, but the Antichrist is actually coming out of the other side, um, which is the Middle Eastern part. I heard a click. I don't even have my comments on, and I heard a click. So anyway, the Antichrist will be a leader we've never seen before. He won't be a leader that's already been damaged. I mean, all these guys come to the scene, they've been damaged already. Barack Obama's been damaged. I mean, all these guys, Trump's been damaged. Antichrist will not be damaged when he comes. The only people who will be damaging the Antichrist is the Christians or the Jews who will come to their senses. And then the rest of the world will start. A lot of people of the Gentiles that are not Christians will become saved. That's why in Revelation chapter 7, you see people in front of the throne, and they have white on, and they came out of the tribulation. So these people will come out of the tribulation, and because they went through hell to get to heaven. So the Antichrist is going to be a good-looking young man, a good-looking old man or young man. I'm guessing he'll copycat Christ, so he'll be in his 30s, but 30, probably in his 30s. But he could be in his 60s. You know, God is, you know, the devil likes numbers, and God uses numbers, so he could be in his 60s. I don't know. He could be in his 40s. He could be any age, right? But for the most part, he'll probably be in his 30s, young guy. But As far as people liking a little bit of age to their leaders, he could be older. Antichrist would be a very good-looking man. The Bible calls him the king of fierce features. Means he's a good-looking guy. He when he's standing next to the 10 kings, he stands out. The king of fierce countenance. A good-looking guy. He has fierce looks. I mean, he's a good-looking guy, but he's tough-looking. He's look like a mafia guy. I mean, he's tan color, green eyes. And the Bible says he understands dark sentences. I don't think Trump understands dark sentences. I don't think Macron understands. That's why I'm trying to tell you guys the rapture of the church is key to understanding where the Antichrist will fall. He falls after the rapture of the church. Matter of fact, in Thessalonians, it says the restrainer restrains him until the time comes. Now, I keep hearing all kinds of debate about the restrainer, and sometimes the answer is right there, and we like to debate because it brings audience, it brings people in to watch our videos. Have you ever heard of clickbait? Well, debate brings in. I know how to get people to listen to me. I know how to get people to listen to me, but for the most part, um, people are going to listen when you're kind of controversial. And I notice that even when I'm watching videos and I have no intentions of coming on here. I'm watching videos for the sure fact that people like stuff. Um they like things when it's when it's heated. They like controversy, you know. Um that Bible study is another thing. When people come on here and they're studying something um like, you know, Enoch, the book of Enoch, they're studying things like that. People love that. I mean, people eat that up. I have no intentions of coming on here talking about, even though Enoch can be used. Matter of fact, the book of Jude referred to Enoch. But when you come on here and you talk about something that's defining, people don't want that. People rather for me to come in here and talk about, and I would come in here because some of this stuff is interesting to me. But when you come in and talk about Babylonian Empire, if you define what the Babylonian Empire is, they don't want to hear that. They want you to confuse, just like the word Babylon is confuse people to get them to, if I talk intelligent and they still don't have the answer, then that's what people like. And you can hold people in the chat room as long as you can keep them confused. But if you give them anything that makes them think they know the answer, they'll leave the video really quickly. And I'm not trying to trick anybody. I'm just telling you guys what I believe is true, that the Assyrian comes from the Middle East and he will take over three. And I think the three is the Middle East. So somehow or another, this guy becomes the president or prime minister of Syria and he takes over. They ask him to become the regional, because remember, it's 10, right? So it's 10 horns. So the Middle East will be 5 horns. The Northern Africa will be 2 horns, and the Middle East will be 3. So the Antichrist, which is a little horn, which is just one little insignificant country, Syria, he will take over 3, which is the regional director of the Middle East, and he will lead out of Turkey. And then he will take over the 10. Now, the reason why people in the West find it so hard to believe that he will be a Eastern person is the Bible is from the East. The Bible originated from the East. And people is willing to make it out of a United States thing or even a Europe thing because we don't see a foreigner being the Antichrist. We see a white guy with blonde hair or brunette and blue eyes. So the Antichrist will be a Middle Eastern. I don't know how westernized he will be. I don't think he'll have a turban on. I think he will suit the whole world. So if he had a turban on, he would just be a kind of a Middle Eastern guy. I think he'll be westernized, look like he should be on the GQ magazine, good looking guy, that has oratorial skills out the, great oratorial skills, and he'll be able to communicate with people, in different languages as well. So, anybody in the chat room want to ask a question? That's fine. You can only ask a question uh, if you are a subscriber for at least 1 minute. Other than that, you can't ask questions. But if you want to ask questions, that's fine. I'm here for a few minutes. Don't ask no crazy questions, because what it is I have my chat box open, but the problem with the chat box is when I go on live like I am, a lot of the people from the short side comes in, and a lot of those people are not even Christian. So I did it like this time, but I don't know if it's going to. Let me see. Pull that down. Okay, so yeah, um, it's going to be hard to even figure out his name, because people were trying to figure out his name. Back in the '80s, they were trying to Ronald Reagan, because he has 6 names in each part of his name. Ronald Wilson Reagan or whatever, six letters in his name. I think it's ridiculous to do that. I think when he comes to the scene, you will know his name if he doesn't have a name change. The Bible calls him the prince that shall come. So I don't know if he's some type of monarch. Um, a lot of people thought he was Juan Carlos of Spain when he was younger. And in 1986, Spain became the 11th nation to join the European Union. So people would kind of like thought, and then they kind of thought it was maybe his son, because he is a prince. But now I think Juan Carlos retired. I don't know for sure if his son's a king now or what. But I don't believe those guys are it. Um, I'm thinking that there's a possibility that Syria can return to a monarchy, and that might be the case, or he might not. He might just come out of a. One thing me and my son was discussing at one point is saying that somebody like Elon Musk, not Elon Musk himself, but somebody like him that's an innovator that builds things, would be like kind of like a Tony Stark type of guy, would be the Antichrist. But I'm thinking he's more heretic. I mean, it's more dealing with roots, um, doing dealing with offspring, dealing with him being a man, and being having a generational monarch or type of ancestry to point to where the Antichrist came from. So yeah, I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, I'm not looking at the chat room for anybody who's because sometimes the chat room gets a little vicious, so I don't even. There's probably no chance that the same people come back into your room 3 or 4 times. So when I get rid of somebody coming in the room, it's probably permanent. Anyway, God bless you guys, and thank you guys for joining me. Whoever did, God bless you guys. Have a wonderful night.